everyone and welcome to my labour story. So I've been meaning to film this video for like the longest time ever. I did do like a mini 3-part section on TikTok, but that was just like a quick overview. So I've decided to do like a proper video to go into like full detail and everything like that and tell you my experience of birth. So Jesse, my little boy, is now 7 weeks old and he's absolutely amazing, the best thing ever. I'm absolutely loving motherhood, but let's get into the labour story. So my due date was the 7th of October, and 2 weeks before my due date I had a midwife appointment, and she was like doing, I don't know the actual term for it, but you know, like where they feel your stomach to see where the baby is. And she said he was like extremely low, like really, really low. And I'd actually been experiencing some like period cramps, like prior to my appointment. Nothing too bad, like severely mild period cramps. But as soon as she said that, I was like, oh my God, he's coming, he's coming. I was like ringing everyone up going, it's coming, it's coming, it's really low, it's coming this week. Just me being over dramatic, and went out and bought all my hospital bag bits that I'd not bought. I was stressing out. I was like, the house isn't ready, we're not ready for him. But he didn't even come, he came late. So yeah, 2 weeks before my due date, I was experiencing like very, very mild period cramps, like not all the time, like sometimes on a night, sometimes on a morning, but I think that's just a process of like your body preparing, I believe so anyway. So my trust offers you a sweep on your due date. I know everyone's different. I know some places don't offer it at all until like you're a week overdue. But yeah, my trust offers a sweep on your due date. So I actually had a midwife appointment, like a routine midwife appointment, booked in 2 days before my due date, and she actually offered me a sweep that day. So I don't want people to think that that's what everyone does, because I know I told one girl that obviously she gave me a sweep before my due date, and she went to her appointment and like their trust doesn't even touch you or give you a sweep until you've passed 40 weeks. So I know everyone's completely different. So she offered me a sweep on that day, and it wasn't even painful. I was expecting like to experience like some really painful pains, but honestly it didn't feel anything at all. It was a little bit uncomfortable and like slightly awkward, but nothing too bad. As soon as she'd done it, I had the period pains. They were more intense this time though, but nothing like major. Just like I could tell they were like more prominent. So again, I was like, oh my God, he's coming, he's coming. Because when you're a first time mum, you just do not know what to expect. Like you don't know when it's gonna happen, you don't know what to look out for, the signs and everything. So when I got home, I went to the toilet and I thought I lost my mucus plug, but I wasn't too sure because I didn't know whether it was, you know, the gel that they use to like make it easier to get up there, as nice as that sounds. I didn't know whether it was just that had like come out. But then like 2 days after that and 3 days after my sweep, I like continued to like lose little bits that I thought was my mucus plug, but not 100% sure. So it got to my due date and I was impatient already at this point. I'd been bouncing on my ball for like a week. Obviously the sweep was unsuccessful because I'm pretty sure if you've not gone into labour within 48 hours after your sweep, it was unsuccessful. So I'm guessing it didn't work. Or it might have like, you know, got things started, I'm not sure, but I didn't go into labour 48 hours after. So yeah, I got to my due date, absolutely nothing. Again, I was just having like the mild period cramps and like was so uncomfortable, it was unreal. I was ready for this baby to get out. So the day after my due date, I actually decided to go into town and have a little bit of a walk, because ever since I'd gone on maternity leave, I was literally like just sat on the sofa all day, and I knew that I had to be like active to try and get this baby to come along. So I went into town and I bought some raspberry leaf tea, and obviously I didn't do my research on it. I did a TikTok on me buying the raspberry leaf tea, and people did explain to me that it only softens the cervix and doesn't like induce labour, and for it to work you've got to start having it from like 32 weeks, and obviously I'd not done that, but I had it regardless. I thought I'll just have it anyway, otherwise I would have wasted my money. So it's a good job I liked it. So that night I had 3 cups of the raspberry leaf tea, and that night I just felt different. I'm not sure how to explain it, but you know when you just know something's going to happen, I just felt different. And I had really bad hot flushes. Jimmy, my boyfriend, was absolutely freezing and I was like really, really warm, like sweating. And I had hot flushes throughout like pretty much the whole of my pregnancy. And these just felt different, and I felt different in myself. So I went up to bed, and then 2:30 in the morning I woke up with more intense period pain, and I kind of knew that this was it, but I was like too tired to like process it in my head, and I was like, I'm just gonna go back to sleep, I'm too tired. And like throughout the course of the night, the pains kept waking me up. They weren't like really intense, but they were like more intense than before. I'm horrendous at explaining things, I'm so sorry, but I just knew that something was happening. So I got up at 6:30 that morning, left Jimmy in bed because I didn't want to wake him up and say like, listen, I think it's happening, just in case it wasn't. So I came downstairs, sat on the sofa, and I decided to start timing just in case, because obviously I had no idea how long this was going to go on for. I didn't know whether I was ready to go into hospital or whether it was going to be like 2 days after that he was going to come and things. So I started timing him. They were about 10 minutes apart for less than about 40 seconds. But the pains were like really breathable. They were more intense and I could like really feel the pain, but I was able to like breathe through them easily and like get past them and everything, with like some toe curling involved because it was quite intense. So I decided to go and wake Jimmy up.
This is it, Ian Bob. Definitely. Yeah.
And I was like, Jimmy, I think this is it. And I don't think he took me serious at first. I think he thought, because we'd had like so many false alarms the past 2 weeks, and I was like, he's coming, he's low, he's coming. I think maybe he just thought, oh, listen, I don't think it is. He didn't say that to me, but I think he probably thought, you know, oh, I don't think it is, whatever. Until he saw me like have a contraction, and then he went, you're actually in pain, aren't you? I was like, yeah, I think it's happening, honestly. And obviously that's when he thought, yeah, this is happening. And I like rang my mum and told Jimmy's mum. And yeah. Good morning. It is the 9th of October. And I've started with some pain this morning. And I think today might be the day, but I'm not sure. But I haven't had pain like this at all. And I don't think it'll be a false alarm. So I'm up, I'm going to tidy the house. I'm just about to get a bath and wash my hair, just in case it is today. And my hair's greasy. So yeah, I'll keep you updated throughout the day. So Jimmy made us a full breakfast because obviously we didn't know when we'd be next eating. And then my mum came round to see her little girl for the last time before becoming a mum. And I'm not going to lie, when she left it was quite emotional. Just, I don't know why. I'm getting upset thinking about it now, to be honest. But it was just like the last time she was obviously going to see me as like not being a mum. And I don't know. It were really nice. We had like a chat and everything. And we had like a little photo on the sofa before he came. And my bump looks huge. I'll insert that picture now, actually. So I decided to get a bath because my hair was greasy and there was no way I was going into hospital with my hair like a grease ball. So I took a bath. So I've just had a bath and they've got a little bit stronger now. So I'm tidying the house up, ready for you to come because it's a bit of a mess. And yeah, that's it. Here's my bump. Gonna miss it. But yeah, today's the day. Maybe tomorrow morning, we'll see. And yeah, I don't know, the pain was like kind of the same throughout the whole of the day. Very mild. I don't know how to explain it. It's so hard to explain things. It was like more intense than the usual period pain, put it that way. It was more intense, but I wasn't like in excruciating pain where I was like, oh my god, I'm in pain. Like I was able to like keep quiet and just breathe through them. I think the most worrying thing for me was, obviously, being a first-time mum, I had no idea when to ring the hospital. I wanted to try and stay at home as long as possible, but then again, I didn't want to give birth at home. So I was like, I don't know what to do. I think it got to about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I think they were still continuing to be like 10 minutes apart, and I decided to ring the hospital. So about 5 o'clock, I'm pretty sure it was 5 o'clock to be honest, I can't remember. I rang up and I just explained that I'd been having pain since 2:30 in the morning. They were 10 minutes apart, lasting 40 seconds and so on. And I actually said, is it all right that I've been having pain for this long? And obviously it was completely fine. She said, yeah, she told me to stop timing the contractions, to totally relax, go and get another bath and just wait until they were closer together. And I thought, you know what, she's so right. Like, I've been so caught up all day about timing these contractions and I know I'm nowhere near like ready to go in whatsoever. So I stopped timing, I took another bath. When I got in the bath, I could tell that they started to get more intense. And when I'm in pain, I like to move. So if I'm in like an enclosed space, I don't know, I struggle. I like to like move about. That helps me cope with the pain. Not sure why. So when I was in the bath, obviously I was in like a tight little space and there was not much room for me to move about. So I did struggle being in like such a small bath. Not sure why that's relevant. I thought I'd just tell you anyway. So once I got in the bath, I could definitely feel that they started to get a little bit more intense. So time went on and I decided to order myself a huge doner kebab. And when I say huge, it was huge. So I ordered myself takeaway. Jimmy got takeaway as well, just because we thought we're not cooking, there'll be pots all over, let's just get a takeaway. So I ordered a doner kebab for myself and cheesy chips. It was beautiful. Not so nice, like having pain throughout eating it. But yeah, we ordered ourselves some food. I'm not sure what time this was. To be honest, looking back at the whole thing, it just feels like a whole blur. But yeah, we ordered ourselves some food, and obviously as time went on, the pain started getting more intense. So the pain now, the contractions, sorry, were starting to get 5 minutes apart. So I decided to ring the hospital, and I spoke to they were all lovely, all the midwives and everyone I spoke to was so lovely, but this lady were really, really nice. And I just explained that the contractions were 5 minutes apart. I actually started crying to her at this point, because at this point, this is when they were like really intense, and I was coping with them, but not as much as previous. And then I started to get like a bit, you know, feeling sorry for myself. I was like, they're really hurting me, I don't know what to do, I don't know, and all this. And she just said, they're still too far apart for you to come in. She said, if you want to come in, you're more than welcome to. But obviously I didn't want to just mess people about and go in, be examined, have to come back, then have to go back later. So I just said, fine, I'll stay at home, try and work through them and things like that. So just carried on waiting. I think it got to about 11:30, and if you've watched my TikTok videos, you know that I was like severely, very, very prepared for this baby. Like the hospital bags were packed. My bag was packed, and I actually had like a hospital outfit already out in his little room, so that I wouldn't be stressing about choosing an outfit. Not that it matters what you wear to go into hospital with, but yeah, I had an outfit already set out. So I said to Jimmy, I'm going to get my outfit on and things like that. And Jimmy actually started packing a little bag, because again, you don't know how long you're going to be in for. So Jimmy packed himself like a little bag just with some toiletries in, some like shorts, some spare pair of clothes, some earphones, etc. And yeah, I said to him, I don't think it's going to be too long until we're going into hospital. The pains were still about 5 minutes apart at this point, but they were getting like so intense. So I've now had contractions for 21 hours and they're getting worse. Daddy is just packing his bag, ready to go to the hospital. I think it will be next hour or 2 hours that we're going into the hospital, but we'll see. So yeah. Jimmy's just gone to move the cars, and then I think I'm gonna go in because it fucking kills. I can't even tell you how bad the pain is. So randomly, this was about 1 o'clock in the morning now, I decided to put a pad on. 5 minutes later, laid down on the bed, waters broke, and it was such a surreal moment, because obviously like you see all this stuff on like movies and everything, and I always imagine like what would it be like when my waters break, or where will I be? And I was literally just laid down on the bed 5 minutes after putting a pad on, thank God, and it just came out. And I said, waters have gone, ran to the toilet, sat on the toilet, rang the hospital straight away, and she said, yeah, come in, because obviously when your waters break, I think you've got to go in to be examined, because I think you've got to go into labour within 24 hours of your waters breaking, active labour. So as soon as my waters broke, the whole situation just changed. I'd gone from like kind of managing with the pain to like, and being like pain free in between contractions, to being in constant pain. Like it came on thick and fast. I could barely walk. I was really, really struggling at this point, and I don't know. The pain was really intense. I can't even describe to you how the pain feels. Obviously everyone feels different, but as soon as my waters broke, that was it for me. I was in constant pain. We got straight into the car. I felt sick. I thought I was going to be sick all over, but I think that's because I was panicking a little bit, and that's the one thing that I'd said to myself prior going into labour. I was like, just don't panic, but sometimes it's hard not to panic. I don't know why I was panicking. Obviously I don't know why I was panicking, because labour is hard, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, we got into the car, went to the hospital, only 10 minutes away, so it didn't take too long. However, it did take me 10 minutes to walk to the front entrance, because I was in that much pain, constant pain. I was struggling to walk, and like the height of the contraction, like when the contraction starts and then builds up to like its highest point, oh wow, it's severe. And I also had a lot of pressure down there, like a lot of pressure, which I wasn't expecting, to be honest. I thought I'd just had the contractions, but the pressure was actually worse than the contractions. So Jimmy was actually allowed in with me the whole time. So we went to the assessment room and got assessed, and she said I was 3 centimetres, which I wasn't too bothered about. She did say they was going to give me an hour to get to 4 centimetres. If not, then I'd have to go home. But I just knew there was, I couldn't go home. I just knew it. I just said, does it get much worse than this? Because I'm in serious pain. And it was horrible because obviously when I didn't want to lay down, for some reason I couldn't lay down, I couldn't sit down because the pressure was that intense that I physically could not sit down. So when she was examining me, I had like a contraction come on. It was horrible, so uncomfortable. It was just bad timing. So yeah, they took me around to the delivery suite. And we walked in, it was the most gorgeous room, and Jimmy were like, is this where you give birth? I'm like, yeah. It was like, what? I'm like, yeah, this is where it happens. Because I think he thought it was just going to be like, you know, like a hospital room. But it's not. It was really lovely. She like dimmed all the lights. We had music on. We had like the crystals on. Oh, it was so lovely. But again, it took me 10 minutes to walk around to the delivery suite because I had to stop like every 1 minute for a contraction, and I was in so much pain. But I was glad to be in there, and I was like praying that I'd got to get to 4 centimetres in an hour's time. So I didn't have a birth plan as such, but I was adamant that I didn't want a water birth because my excuse was I'm uncomfortable when my hair's wet, which is a load of crap now thinking about it because you're just not bothered about that when you give birth. But she said to me, do you want the pool filling up? And I thought, yeah, I do actually, because I could not sit down, I could not lay down, and I thought I want to float. Obviously, like I said earlier, I like to move about when I'm in pain, so I thought if I can lay down and float without feeling that pressure of obviously being sat down on something and move about at the same time, then that's fab. But it did take like so long to fill up, like really long to fill up, but it was so worth it. So obviously because I was only 3 centimetres, I wasn't in the pool at this point, by the way, she just started to fill it up. So obviously because I was 3 centimetres, I wasn't allowed gas and air, so I had paracetamol and codeine, and I actually had a COVID test as well. So the only relief I got was going to sit on the toilet, like not actually going to the toilet, but sat on the toilet with my arms either side on the rest, like sat into the toilet, because I wanted to sit down, but I couldn't sit down on the bed because obviously of the pressure. So I just wanted to like hang, if you know what I mean. So that's the only part of relief I got when obviously waiting for the pool to fill up. So contraction came and I did a push, and Jimmy came in and he went, are you pushing? I said, yeah, I did a push. I said, go and get her. So he went to go and get the midwife, and she examined me, and I was 4 centimetres, like literally half an hour after coming in to the hospital, I was 4 centimetres. So she got me gas and air, which was amazing. It actually does work. I always thought like, how can it work? But it does. And the thing I was more shocked at, because obviously before I gave birth, I was watching One Born Every Minute, and on all the like bits at the show, they always go, right, are you ready to start pushing? And I thought that's what the case would be for me. I thought like it'd be, she'd tell me when I was 10 centimetres and say, right, start pushing. But no, because I'd not like had an epidural, obviously I could feel the push, and I didn't realise that's how it happened. Like your body basically does the pushing for you and you can feel the push. It's so weird. I thought like she'd said to me, push, and then I'd push. But no, it's like your body does it for you. It's so strange, so weird. But anyway, I managed to get obviously I was laid down on the bed for the examination. I turned onto my side with the gas and air, still waiting for the pool to fill up. And yeah, I was laid on my side with my leg up in the air, so classy. And every contraction I was pushing, and I said, is this right? I'm like, should I be pushing? I'm only 4 centimetres. She's like, oh, it's just position a baby, which it were. We just didn't realise how like low down he was at the time. She said, your next examination's at 7 o'clock. He came at 5 o'clock. But obviously we didn't know at this point, so carried on with the contractions. Finally, I think after about an hour and a half, 2 hours, the pool had filled up. It took ages. Hobbled over to the pool and got in, and honestly I really hope I have a water birth for my future pregnancies because it was absolutely amazing. So I got into the pool, I was able to like lay my head back onto the rest with my legs out. I was floating, so I was laid down but obviously not feeling like more pressure by being laid on something, if you know what I mean. Still on the gas and air. and Jimmy, I didn't realise, bless him, was holding my hair the whole time. For an hour and a half he was holding my hair. He went, Liv, can I let go of it? I was like, are you holding my hair? He was like, yeah, because you said you didn't want to get it wet. And I'm like, I'm not bothered, put it in. And he's been holding my hair the whole time. One thing I do recommend to everybody, get a fan. I don't know why we didn't take the hospital bags in with us to the hospital. No idea why, after I'd spent like 2 days packing them. My fan was in there, so Jimmy was fanning me with 2 sick balls, because she said, do you want to go down and get your bags? And I said, Jimmy, I need you to fan me. I'm going to be sick. I'm going to, like, you're so warm, like, but a really horrible warm. It was like really, really horrible. I kept saying, blow me. And he fanning me with 2 sick balls either side. So yeah, I was still having contractions, still pushing about 3-4 times every contraction. So Jimmy literally didn't leave my side at all. He was literally there the whole time. And, you know, thinking back to it now, I so wish I would have filmed the whole thing, because it just feels like a blur and feels like it never happened, because obviously I feel like I wasn't in the moment, like I was so out of it. I can't even remember like how it happened, what was happening. So anyway, still pushing every 3 to 4, I was still pushing 3 to 4 times every contraction. So contraction comes and I do a push and I feel him come down, like, I think, is it like the canal? I feel him come down. I can feel something there. And I was like, I can feel something. She was like, I'll double check and just see if it is. She was so lovely. And I'm so sorry if you are watching. I can't remember your name. I can't remember any of the midwives' names whatsoever. I remember what you look like though, but thank you so much. So she said, right, I'll have a feel, but I'm not too sure if it will be. Anyway, she felt, and he was there. He was literally there. And Jimmy was like, is this it? Is this the moment? And she was like, yep, you're having a baby. I was like, oh my God. So Jimmy had to go and press like the little yellow buzzer to go and get like another midwife to come in and help. So this is where I started pushing. I can't remember how long I was pushing for. I don't think it was long, to be honest, because obviously the previous pushes was actually me pushing him down without us realising. So it all happened like quite quickly. I'd say the worst part of the whole labour for me was pushing the head out. It was like the push before, I was like sat there and I thought to myself, this next push, this is his head. And I thought, I'm going to have to do it, just go for it. Oh God, it gives me shivers thinking about it. I don't want to put anyone off. Labour's the most amazing thing in the world, but pushing that head out is something else. So I started to pushing the head out, and Ring of Fire is real. Oh, it makes me shiver thinking about it now. And yeah, his head came out and it was intense. It was a lot. It was painful. But I knew that the next push would be him coming. So it was so exciting. Literally after I'd done that push, no pain whatsoever. The rest of the body literally just like flew out on my next contraction. No pain whatsoever. So he came out and I was like, oh my God. And I've actually got the video, but obviously I'm not going to insert that. So he came out and he didn't cry. So the whole birth was super positive, probably apart from this part. So he came out and he didn't cry. He was breathing fine and his heart rate was fine, but he wasn't crying like at all. And like on the video, you can hear the midwife say, come on, give us a cry, otherwise I'm gonna have to take you. And I was like, come on. And you could see him like try to cry, like going like that, but nothing was coming out. And obviously because I've been watching One Born every minute, I know when someone says, can you press the red buzzer? It doesn't mean like good things. So as soon as I heard the midwife said, Jimmy, can you go and press that red buzzer? I was like, what? But I was still out of it because it's such a surreal moment, and I feel like I still wasn't in the moment. I feel like Jimmy probably experienced fear more than me. So yeah, I feel like Jimmy probably felt more fear than I did, just because I'd obviously like just given birth and I felt like I was in a dreamland. So nurses came in and I couldn't really see Jesse. He was like, not round the corner, but he was like in like a little section that was like a bit deeper than where I was. So the midwife helped me get out of the pool and everything, so obviously I was in the pool, and went and laid down on the bed, and I just kept saying to Jimmy, is he okay? And Jimmy was like, yeah, he's fine. But when I spoke to Jimmy after, Jimmy was like, I was trying to tell you it was okay, but I didn't know myself and everything. And so that, I don't know, he was there for 9 minutes on oxygen. And after that, he was absolutely fine. He was literally, it just needed a little bit of a helping hand. 9 minutes is a long time when you're waiting for your baby to cry, I'm not gonna lie. So it wasn't the nicest of moments, but he's absolutely fine. He just needed a little bit of a helping hand with the oxygen. And then he came over to me and laid on my chest, and it was amazing. Again, so surreal. I just cannot explain how it feels to anybody. It's just so weird. Like, you spend 9 months carrying them and then all of a sudden they're on your chest, and it's just like, what? So yeah, I'll talk a bit more about like postpartum now. So I actually had a 2nd degree tear internally, like near the muscle, I think. And it also took me an hour to deliver the placenta as well. So obviously you've got to deliver the placenta before they check for like stitches and everything like that. So I needed a helping hand with the placenta as well. So I had the injection to like try and get it moving along, and she kept like tugging on it. She was like, can you not feel any pushes? And I was like, nope. And she had to go and get some essential oils. I didn't know this helped actually. She rubbed the essential oils on my stomach, and that's supposed to help get the placenta out, which is quite cool. And then pushing the placenta out, you actually have to do that yourself. Like, you can't feel a push or anything like that. I like pushed the placenta out. She said it was one of the biggest placentas she'd ever seen, which is nice. And then they checked obviously for my stitches and for any tears, and I'd had a tear. So I got stitched up with Jessie on me, and they showed me how to breastfeed, etc. We're not breastfeeding anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, I hope that's all right for you all, the labour story. Oh, about an epidural, I did ask about an epidural actually. I'm thinking about it now though, I probably wouldn't have had time to have one, because he probably would have come out. So I think at one point I'd had like a really bad contraction in the pool, and I said, will a epidural help? And she said, it will help, yeah. And I just said, the thing for me was, it was more the pressure rather than the actual contraction, because the gas and air was helping the contraction loads. She said it won't help with the pressure, so I just said, no, that's fine, I'll do it without the epidural. But I did ask about an epidural, just didn't go through with it. So I hope you've enjoyed my little labour story. I've filmed this just while Jessie's been having a nap next to me just here. But yeah, it was such a surreal day, an amazing day. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe and comment. If you want to see any other specific videos or anything, just let me know in the comments below. Perfect timing for me finishing this because he's just waking up. But yeah, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and let me know, again, like I've just said, any videos you want to see. Thank you.